windows by and large. We've had there's been a few successes, but very few. The shadow of Daniel Levy is still hanging over the club, unfortunately.
Daniel
no, seriously, this is how it's hanging over the club.
It's not a shadow.
The lack of ambition, the lack of drive. I was on the Southern show today, and we were talking about the midfield players.
No name dropping, please.
We were talking about that. We were talking about clubs with really good midfield players, who could come on and control games. Declan Rice, 105 million. Enzo and Caicedo, between them, 220 million. Rodri was
Florian Wirtz, 125 million.
Okay, but you know what? He'll come good.
He's the only one.
He'll come good. That will get sorted. He's interesting because just diversifying slightly. Adrian Durham was saying on Talk today, Liverpool's biggest problem at the moment also is Salah, who's hardly scoring and doesn't track back and is creating chaos. And how long is Slot going to wait till he drops Salah? But Wirtz, I'm sure, will come good. He's a quality player. He is just settling in to the Premiership. That's very different to the Bundesliga, as Xavi Simons is finding out. And I'm sure we can all agree that we've seen enough of Simons to see that he is a player, and all being well, he will come good.
It didn't take Etikite very long to settle in.
No, it doesn't. No, some players just slot in, and he has. But going back to us, Frank is suffering because we haven't got enough quality in the squad. We've got 4 or 5 very, very good players in Paulinho, the 2 centre backs, Kudus. We got then it's a drop down. We've got several good players. You got a load of kids, and then they've got a few players that are really just way off the level. We haven't got enough very good players in our squad to make a difference. And again, hopefully the kids are going to come in. They're going to put that right. I said last week we need 300 million to start putting this squad right in next summer. We've got 100 million from the share rights issue. We've got 90 million that was forwarded in advance of TV funds. That's 190 million. If you sell, you get 20 for Richie, 30 for Solanke, 20 for Bentancur, 20 for Sarr, 20 for Johnson. There's another 110 on your 190. There's your 300 million. Go and spend it. Go and buy top players. Quality. We've got really good kids. We don't need any more kids.
You're talking about in the summer, Lubo?
I'm talking about the summer.
Okay.
Go and spend 300 million on top players, or 190 plus 110 that I'm sure you'll get from those 5 players, who for me I would move on. I'd move every single one of those players on. Richie, Solanke, Benson, Sarr and Johnson.
Does spending money guarantee success?
Nothing guarantees success. But
Liverpool or Man U?
Hang on. Let's just say that, Arsenal wanted to spend 105 on Declan Rice. They knew what they were getting. They were getting 8 and 9 out of 10 every week. Chelsea the same with Enzo.
Lubo, right? Not how much you spend. It's spending it on the
what
right.
£100 million player are you going to attract to Tottenham Hotspur? Just out of curiosity, there isn't also going to be of the pursuit of teams like Arsenal, Liverpool, City, United, or Chelsea.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
But Sean, we've got to go and compete with them now.
Victor Osimhen.
Osimhen we should have signed. Right.
Wow, yeah, if you could get him, I don't care about his dickheadness. Bring that guy to me. Bring him to me.
I think Bournemouth, listen, the problem is that it's Spurs maybe have missed out on Semenya. Spurs and United evidently offered 50 million, got turned down in the summer. Spurs should have gone and said, right, 60, okay, you want 70? We'll give you 70, and bought Semenya. And again, I think that was poor on Spurs' part. They've got to go in. They've got to buy these quality players where you're going to get 7, 8s and 9s or 10 out of 10 every single week. You look at the players we've relied on, and you had Dyer come in the team. I remember the other year, played a few good games. Davis the same, and then their form drops off because they're not good enough. And these players are inconsistent, and they'll have good games.
Gray, do you reckon?
Sorry?
How much do you reckon we get for Archie Gray right now?
Archie Gray? He's unsaleable, Johnny. top potential. Mate. You do not get rid of players like
Oh,
that.
no, just
Homegrown talent as well. Don't forget.
I thought you said you wanted to fix the squad, Lubo.
Sorry, I wanted a.
You said you wanted to fix the squad.
Still.
How do we fix the squad keeping Gray?
How do we? Because you keep him because he's a top player. He will be a top player.
He's done absolutely
top potential, and he'll be a top player.
But then by that logic, keep Odegaard, keep Tell, keep them all. They've got potential then.
Well, listen, maybe. Listen, you got Moore coming back. You got Vuskovic coming back.
Who are we going to drop so they can play? Who's going to be dropped so Vuskovic can play?
Who's going to drop? Well, I personally think Vuskovic will come in front of Danzo and Jameson.
Really? You think?
I honestly think
our manager is going to play him ahead of Danzo and Dragusin? I don't.
Listen, he's getting scouting reports, and Vuskovic is playing brilliantly in the Bundesliga every single week. He's won the Young Player of the Month, second month running.
I don't
he
think
needs to be retrained to play off the left-hand side.
Listen,
he's young enough and he's talented enough to be able to learn how to play off the left-hand side. Before he gets set in his ways, we need a player that can play off the left. If you can reposition him to be a monster from the left-hand side, his value will double because it's a more of a scarce type of player anyway.
Let's get Jan Bissek or get the boy from Wolfsburg, right? We need a proper left-sided centre-back. None of this square pegs in round holes. We need a quality left centre-back because you know as well as I do, if Mickey Van der Ven goes, we're screwed. If Odegaard gets injured, we're screwed, right?
Same with Udogie. Same with Udogie.
No.
Yes.
We got Spence.
That's not been a success at left back.
Listen, look, you're not going to tell me Jed Spence is shit. I'm sorry.
Hang on, I didn't say the word shit. I didn't say the word shit. Hasn't been a success. It's been okay. Defensively, yes. Attacking.
We've done something right to be in the England squad because he wasn't in it before.
Doesn't play left back for England, does he?
No, because he's a right back.
Exactly. He's a right back. Now there's
a shout.
There's a shout for playing him at right back in front of Porro.
100%.
Me, but not as a left back. You need a top defender who can play either left back or left centre back.
The thing is here, look, Arsenal, despite having the massive depth that they had, still went and spent a fortune on Hincapié, who's a monster at left back and is a monster at left centre back. And they still got Mascara, right, who was one of the best signings of the summer there, £13 million from Valencia. I mean, they just buying quality. They don't fuck around. We're still, how many years have we spending talking, Lubo, about a backup or not a backup, a competing left centre-back?
But left-sided centre-backs are so rare. It's a lesser spotted centre-back, especially one that's left-footed. There's probably 3 or 4 left-footed, left-sided centre-backs that are out there right now in Europe that are actually attainable, that are value for money.
Hincapié was.
I'll tell you this now.
Hincapié was.
Hincapié didn't want to come to Tottenham, did he? He went to Arsenal.
Well, he did because we never bid for him. Unfortunately,
probably because we got told. It was a week after Eze. We probably got told, "Don't even bother." With the Arsenal, there'll be Little Broad again.
We got to hope. We have got to hope now that Levy's gone, that the handbrake's off. We can go and spend a bit extra on players. We can give them higher wages.
Like he was a handbrake.
He was a handbrake, Sean. There's no question he was a handbrake.
There's every question he was a handbrake. There's every question.
He was a handbrake. Massive handbrake.
Can I say, if we do not in the summer go and sign established, proven talent that is Premier League pedigree, what's going to happen is at the end of the following season, the Van der Vens will 100% be snapped up by Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Or the Kuduses, maybe they don't stick around, and we will end up losing some of our stars. It's amazing we've kept them. But as you can see, the number of stars in this team has diminished massively.
Who do you suggest, Stel? Who do you suggest? Semenyo? Is that the one?
Semenyo, Savinho.
So what have you seen of Savinho? Just out of curiosity, because Sean and I were talking about it on the show that can't be named, and we said that has Savinho shown anything that would warrant the £80 million that we were rumoured to have
He's not really playing much at City at the moment, is he? He's not really getting lots of game time.
But when he has come on, he's not been great in possession. He hasn't been superb.
I think unless players play consistently week in, week out, it's very difficult to judge them. They need to build up regularity, momentum, and to replicate what they do in training on match day.
Fair enough. It's fair enough.
It's the same argument I apply for Odegaard. In, out, in, out. You don't really go anywhere.
Say that. When you look at Esteval, right, who I still maintain is going to be an absolute, like on another level. When he comes onto the pitch, despite minimal minutes, he turns the game. There's something about him. And, I'm not seeing that with Savinho at this moment where he's doing that. That's my
I saw it last season with him.
Yeah, last season.
He could play better.
Definitely when he was in Spain, for sure.
And another player, the guy we spoke about from the Monaco guy, I keep forgetting his name.
Akalouche.
There you go. We should be going in for him.
Jan Bissek, defender. Just go and look at his stats. He's like a monster.
There's a winger. I think he plays in Turkey.
Bisek's a right-footed.
There's a Turkish player that a lot of people are talking about. I had a look at him. He looks decent. I'm rubbish with names though.
Yildiz.
Is it? I don't know. I can't remember. But
who's the player from that? Sorry,
isn't he?
Describe him still. I don't.
He's a Turkish winger.
Oh, Kenan Yildiz.
Yildiz. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he ain't coming to Spurs, mate. He's going to anywhere and anywhere, but not here.
He doesn't want to leave Juve. Rafael Leao doesn't want to leave AC Milan. Bastoni doesn't want to leave Inter. None of these players want to leave their Italian home.
No more youngsters now. No more. Develop the ones we've got. The academy kids like the Vuskovics, the Mikey Moores, the
Yildiz is a youngster.
The
Williams Barnett.
Yeah, but he's shown that he's
on
it. He's like, it's like Yamal. He's a youngster, but look at him. You don't say no to that.
What about Nico Paz? You've got all of those midfielders that.
Let me be more specific. I don't want any more youngsters that are potential. I don't want that anymore. If you're going to bring a youngster, bring someone that is.
I actually don't want. I would rather have to go out and get me a 25, 26-year-old guy that's got demonstrations of consistent form, not just a couple of break. Even at the very best level, the highest level, they are still breakout seasons, and a lot of players go off the dial. If you bought Dele Alli 2 seasons, if you bought him from Tottenham 2 seasons into his Tottenham career, you'd be really, really like you'd be going. There's no question here. There's no question. Look how good he is. He's young, but he's proven it. There's still the chance that these players fall off. Correct. I want to go and get a player that's been doing it. And I think that the market has proven now that everybody's fishing in the kids' pool. You're getting this escalation, this amplification of value that's not justified. And no one's fishing over here. Come over here. The water's lovely. 26 years old, 27 years old, 28 years old. We need some 3 or 4 players. As I said, we've got 2 very good. If everybody's fit, we have a 22, an A team and a B team that's very competitive in terms of depth. But we need 3 or 4 really, really good £60 million players now. 1 in the midfield, 1 on the left, 1 up the top, and then possibly 1 in a fullback or a centre-back hybrid role. And if you can go and get those 4 done, you don't need to focus on the 20-year-olds anymore. Go and get a 26-year-old. If everyone thinks that 26-year-old is like with retirement age, and you're basically a granny or a granddad in the world of football, then surely that means that you can get relative value, because there's not as much competition for those sorts of players.
Sure.
What is Igor Thiago? Is Igor Thiago breakout? Can't do it on 1 season. Need to see him for another season.
Yeah, Igor Thiago's breakout. Yeah.
It's
breakout. I don't mind some youngsters if they're proven. For example, there was the centre back last year at Bournemouth, Haisin, who went to Real Madrid. Top. This year,
Zabani.
This year, look at the youngster at Sunderland, Ballard. Is it Ballard?
Ballard.
Mate,
yeah.
He looks mustard.
He's at Arsenal.
Absolutely mustard.
He was at Arsenal, wasn't he?
Released from the Arsenal youth team without playing a minute.
That's a youngster that's doing it in this league right now. He's only going to get better. So if we're going to sign youngsters, get me those. No more experiments like Grays and Bergvalls and Odeberts. They're experiments. No more experiments.
I think Bergvall will come good, personally.
So I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will as well. But if we carry on buying more 20-year-olds, how the hell does Luca Williams-Barnett ever get a chance? How the hell? Like the point that
Ballard 26. Sorry, guys. I didn't know. Yeah, no, I thought he was younger. My apologies. I thought he was younger than 26. He looked younger.
We've got all the kids. We've got all the kids we need. We've got a stack of very good kids. We've got 3 kids who were 16 playing in the who were picked for the England under-17 World Cup squads. In Luca Williams Barnett.
After his dad, Tynan Thompson.
Yeah,
he lost his dad, so I'm not sure whether he still went. I think he probably would have gone.
Lubo out. Sorry, Johnny.
I'm not sure he did. You got Thompson, Barnett, Williams, Barnett, and you've got Byfield.
They're not going to play for Spurs, mate. They're not going to play for Spurs. I'm telling you. We've got Dane Scarlett sitting on the bench who can't even get in ahead of Richie. Richie puts in stinkers after week.
Byfield are a level above.
These kids.
We said Mikey Moore was born to play for Spurs. He hasn't had a look in.
He will play for Spurs.
He will.
Johnny called him generational last night.
Right. So here's my question, Johnny. Right. This is my question to every Spurs fan. I want Mikey Moore to play. I want Williams Barnett to play. I want them playing for Spurs. I'm all for it. The question is, who is being dropped to pave the pathway for them to come in? Who are we dropping for them? And that's when the argument just falls apart. They're not playing for Spurs.
Hang on, Stel. We're not Stel. This is more than 11 player squad. We've got to get to a position.
Who are you dropping then, Lubo? Who are you dropping?
What do you mean dropping? When you say dropping, it's not a fixed 11 anymore.
You have to take someone out of the squad to make way for them to come in the squad. So who are you taking out of the squad to make way for them?
Well, firstly, I told you 5 that I'd get rid of in the summer.
Go on then. Who's your 5-point manifesto? Let's go.
No, Lubo. Who are you dropping for Mikey Moore to play at Spurs? Name the player that's going to be removed.
In terms of the squads, I'd get rid of Johnson.
Right. Do you see Spurs selling a £50 million player that they're going to take a hit on to make way for Mikey Moore? Do you think they'll do that?
We're going to take a hit on Richarlison. We're going to take a hit on Solanke.
You don't need to. Mikey Moore can just come back in and play as in the B team sort of thing. He doesn't have to be part of the 25-man squad.
But sure,
we're talking about them playing in the starting 11, right? That's the whole point.
I'm not talking about starting 11.
So if they're not going to play in the starting 11, why are you bringing them back?
Because we always have 10 injuries at any particular point in time. You always have 10 injuries.
Right. So at some point they're going to start.
Chelsea have got all those kids that don't make it, that don't go out on loan, or this year less so. But last year they had all these players that weren't out on loan, that were kids, 18 to 20 years old, and they had an overflow dressing room. Because you don't have to have. You get 25-man squad that are people within a certain age bracket, certain limitations on the foreign quota and all that. But the kids that are between the age of 17 and 21 can be additional players. And then you just make up whether you want them in the squad on the off chance that they are going to be needed and screw their career if they're not, or you let them go out on loan. But Tottenham have got a lot of talent, which but they don't have to make up the squad numbers. So you don't literally have to drop Johnson to make room for Mikey Moore at least in the squad, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I just say
the point I'm making is for these youngsters to be playing, for us to be sitting in the terraces watching them play for Tottenham Hotspur, we have to make way for that to happen. Someone has to be sacrificed for them to get those minutes, those regular minutes, not a cameo, 30 minutes in the FA Cup, half a game of football every 10 games. To get some regular minutes, we're going to have to sacrifice a player or some playing minutes. Who are we sacrificing for these kids to have a real chance of playing for Tottenham Hotspur? The way Ledley King played, the way Harry Kane played, Harry Winks, Skip. These players played for Tottenham regular.
Yeah.
Who's making way for that to happen is my question.
Can I just say, right, with Mikey Moore, right, with that idiot that was managing before, he had no idea how to play Mikey Moore. He had no idea what position, right? And it's amazing how a fan base can decide that an 18-year-old is entirely responsible for bringing the downfall of Glasgow Rangers and the games that they were playing. Not the professionals who have been there for years, not the manager, but the kid. And it's funny how Roll has come in there, spoken to the player, done his research on the player, studied him, and suddenly, miraculously, he's now playing. He started out on the left and now he's playing as a 10. he's looking like a different player. Suddenly, all the Rangers fans are taking back everything. I'm trying to find all the ones that have been calling him out for the first 4 or 5 games, and now they're retracting them. And, look at the reviews. He should have had 2 on the weekend. It wasn't him that was offside. But he's playing with men. He's playing with... Pardon?
This Colin.
I don't know who's Colin.
Where does Angus get
rubbish? Mikey Moore came on and actually changed the game for him.
He changed the game against Celtic. He was brilliant against Dundee. He was good in the Europa League. He got
Are we blowing smoke up his arse a little bit more than we need to because he's one of our own?
What I'm saying is...
No, Sean, he's doing well, is the point. He's doing well, that's all.
When he went to Rangers,
amazing. He's doing well.
When he went to Rangers, he got the blame for everything that was wrong with Glasgow Rangers. And I think as an 18-year-old kid, right, it's great grounding for you to be in a situation where you're taking the shit and you're taking the heat and everyone's blaming you. It ain't nice, but it's good for character building. You're out in Scotland, and to come through the other side, and now fans are calling his name and singing his name, and he's scoring goals and he's getting assists, and now they're interviewing him after the game and asking him, why is your game changed all of a sudden? It's the manager, and understanding the player. I actually think personally that he will play for Spurs. I know many don't. I believe he will, and I think he's having a very good apprenticeship up at Glasgow, the School of Hard Knocks.
100%. Tough place to be, tough place to grow up. It's a brutal environment, right? Like the Scottish, they're passionate and they're unforgiving. And when things go tits up, they're going to go after the people that are not part of their own academy. Like, why are we wasting time developing a Tottenham kid? I'm 100% right on that, Johnny. 100% right. Whether he makes it back at Tottenham, I hope he does.
Yeah,
but
I believe he will.
Let's applaud the transformation, but let's not sort of overhype the kid yet, because again, you can go from pillar to post. We can, the pendulum can swing too far the other way and say that he's ready and he's not ready yet.
All I remember is we'll see you still at the academy games. I remember the first time I saw Mikey Moore play, he picked up the ball and he went through the middle of that park with unbelievable balance. And I don't know, I blurted it out. I think I've just seen baby Gaza because of the way Gaza used to play with his barrel chest sticking out and ride those challenges. It made me stand up and look. I've seen a lot of academy games, and maybe I am a bit biased from that point of view, that I've always thought that there was something special.
Right. Everyone's got their their pet favourite.
Another issue we've got is you've got some fans that think Mikey Moore is amazing. You've got some fans who think Moore is a good player who's developing nicely and deserves a chance at Tottenham. And you've got some fans that simply don't want him to be successful. They don't want him to do well because they're so hell-bent on, we must buy only proven quality talent, and therefore Mikey Moore coming back.
But isn't the point that we have players like him? We have players like Junai Byfield. We have players like Luca Williams-Barnett. We have enough kids we've already bought that are 18 to 21 right now. We have SARS, we have Bergvals, we have yada, yada, yada. We've got Archie Grays. We've got them coming out of our bloody ear holes. Right.
Yeah.
Right now, do we need any more 18 to 21-year-olds coming through?
But Sean,
surely not.
How many of those players can dribble and beat 1 or 2 players? How many can actually dribble?
That's what I'm saying. So let's go and get
Mikey Moore can dribble. He's a dribbler.
Okay, so we don't need to go and buy another 18-year-old from Strasbourg or from fucking Club Brugge.
I said
that. Do that,
I don't want any more
Let's go and get a 27-year-old. For the one reason, because they've got experience.
But I agree with you,
you have a much bigger sample of evidence to know whether they're proven at the right level, where their weaknesses are, whether they're we've got 15 minutes left, so I want to throw some names out to you with regard to this. Can we all agree then? Are we generally all in agreement, just to put this particular part of the story to bed, are we generally all in agreement that we have bought enough kids and we have enough talented kids either on loan or coming through, that right now that the focus for January and the summer should be to sprinkle in some more experienced quality, because there might be some benefits 100%. Around pricing and also experience.
You can do both. I believe we can do both. I believe we still need to maintain an eye on finding unbelievable talent for our academy, and that's whether it's nicking them from Man City or Arsenal or Chelsea, wherever.
But £1-2 million sprays and plays, not 25-30 million pound kit.
Here. This isn't an either or, it's a both. One's the academy, one's the first team. First team, ready, oven ready, ready to cook, ready to roll players and academy players that we can bed into the future, like Buskovich.
Yeah, but Johnny,
let me ask you a quick example. Sorry, so just to make the point. I'm not talking about £1 and £2 million superstars like Mason Melia that might become great. They're fine. I'm all okay with that. Yeah. Someone like a Hayden Hackney, who's going to cost you 30 million quid. Do we want a Hayden Hackney who we don't have a big enough sample size, who might be the next Adam Wharton? He might not be, but it's going to cost you 35 million quid. Or do we spend that money on someone that we know might cost you 40 million quid, but like a Locatelli, like someone like that, someone like a João Gomez from Wolves, someone that we know we've got a big enough sample size. Should we be spending that 30-40 million quid on those players or a Hayden Hackney?
Right, but I was talking to a old legend a couple of weeks ago, and I said Spurs haven't signed a major player since Rafa van der Vaart, in my opinion. I don't believe we have like a star, like everyone goes.
Marquee signing. Marquee signing.
A marquee signing. I mean, Xavi, look, I don't class him as a marquee signing. I class him as a good player. He's gone around the houses, right? I'm talking about a signing that all the fan base would go, wow, right?
I think all the fan base went wow with Xavi Simons. He just hasn't hit the ground running yet. If Xavi Simons was on 3 goals and 4 assists already, we'd all be saying that Xavi Simons was our next Rafael van der Vaart.
Massive marquee signing, right? I'm no disrespect to Xavi. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I
think he's a big name. He was a big name around Europe, mate. Massive.
Johnny.
I agree with Johnny on this one.
Still, Bale back on loan was enormous, was massive, and you know it would have been. You know, it was downplayed because
at the end of his career, though, Luba. At the end of his career,
but it was still massive. Still, you know, we had Bale was coming back. He still scored 18 goals.
When we signed Klinsmann, When we signed Klinsmann as a fan base, we went mental.
Yeah.
When we signed Edgar Davids, I'll never forget it. I went to the pre-season game. He made his debut against Porto. It was an electric response he got. You know, you've signed someone special when the response is wild. The only other player that got that was Van der Vaart. They're the only ones that remember.
Xavi Simons came in. He came in at the end during it. Was it an international break? We had to wait 2 weeks for him, so it was all a little bit kind of. It's a weird environment. In my opinion, when we signed Xavi Simons, Twitter went mental. Twitter was like, wow.
Hey, 5th choice. Let's not make any bones about it. It was Morgan Gibbs-White, right?
Twitter went mental over Solanke.
It was Morgan Gibbs-White. It was Eze. It was Morgan Rogers. It was Akalush. It wasn't first choice Xavi Simons. Let's not kid ourselves.
That's because of the circumstances of the deal. He was going to Chelsea.
Didn't it? Or an opportunity arose.
Yeah. The same with Rafael van der Vaart. Van der Vaart wasn't a long plan. That was just an opportunity.
Sean, if we signed Victor Osimhen, you will see the response. You will see the difference. That is a signing where fans will go absolutely bonkers.
I think maybe the difference being there that Xavi Simons is 22 years old, right, and has had a couple of seasons.
Signing. He's a good
I think
player.
To those people that are familiar with European football, I think Xavi Simons was a marquee signing. But I agree he doesn't have the legacy.
Eze would have done it for us. If we signed Eze, I think that would have done it for us. The fans would have been just.
Will Son come back in January? Yes or no?
No.
Interesting. Does Eze think his time at Arsenal so far has been a success?
No, Eze's been rubbish so far at Arsenal.
Bad move for him. That was a bad move. And
it's going to get even worse for them if they can go and sign Rodrigo. But let me ask: would Rodrigo be a marquee signing?
Yeah.
He hasn't scored. Johnny's not scored in 29 games.
Rodrigo.
Yeah. What, 0 in 29.
Perfectly. He'll fit in perfectly. You can
have would Savinho have been a marquee signing, or are we just attaching?
No, I'm talking about. If you ask most Spurs fans and you ask them who's the last great signing, apart from your Bale returning, many fans, not all, I think Van der Vaart would be that man. Okay, that's all. I remember when I'm old enough, unfortunately, to remember how excited I was when we signed our Diaz and Villa. And I went down at the training ground and I spent the whole night cutting up bits of paper like they do in
Remember that match? Remember the Villa match, Johnny? First home game?
Mate, I went down there with a bag
everywhere. Paper in the air all round the ground.
Yeah, I spent all night chopping up bits of paper. I came into the ground with 2 plastic bags full of bits of paper. And then when they
these days they would have checked your bag and said you got to put it in the locker, mate. You're not allowed it.
Locker.
And typical Tottenham, we lost 4-1.
Yeah.